Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support greatly. I wanted to talk a little bit about Project Hail Mary. So I believe we're going into the fourth week of the film's release. And so far it's done decently at the box office, the budget of about $200 million, which is quite a bit. It's hefty, right? And you can see it on screen. I haven't seen the film, but I've heard nothing but good things, and I kind of talked about that in the last video when we talked about it crossing $300 million. The budget's $200 million. This is Amazon MGM funding this film. They have another film that's about the same amount, which is Masters of the Universe, which I will be watching. But back to Project Hail Mary. Now we have crossed the $400 million mark at the global box office, sitting at about, I want to say, $421 to $430 million at this point in time. And we've talked about how there's potential sequel talks, right? Is it going to get to $500, $600 million? I don't know if 600 is in the cards, but 500 definitely looks like it's in the cards. This film is almost at a 2.5x. You're looking at a successful run for this film right now. Ryan Gosling taking the lead and pretty much doing the heavy lifting for this film has paid off greatly, I'll say. This film overall is definitely making the impact that I think Amazon wanted it to make. And like I said, akin to Amazon is like Apple Studios, right? They're just trying to break into that entertainment market. That's not their bottom line, but if they can access that market and be able to make some money and create another income stream for the business, they're going to do that. And I think Amazon MGM is onto something good. I do think it was a good acquisition. They seem to be letting the creatives create for the most part. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited for 007 when they finally get going on that. And they still have not announced James Bond yet, but we do know some of the people that are involved. And I think it's exciting times as far as James Bond at this point in time. But back to Project Hail Mary, with this film being over $400 million at the global box office, right? You've doubled up on the budget. We're not talking about marketing there, but just on the production budget alone. And like I said, talking to people in real life, I've heard nothing but good reviews. I have been advised that the theater experience is the way to go, and I have seen some behind the scene footage regarding the film, and it does look like one of those films that you want to see it on the biggest screen possible, but more than likely at this point in time, it's lost the access to those big screens. So I could still see it in theater, yes, and I might possibly do that. But more than likely, I am going to stream the film, and I am interested in reading that book as well. And like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this. So good for the project, good for Amazon MGM at this point in time. I do think more than likely a sequel is going to be in order. I did hear some tidbits about the film and how there's some characters to where you do have pockets, right, to where you could expound upon those characters. I know that the author hasn't written a sequel, right? And maybe he's open to writing a screenplay or maybe even a book to go along with the new ideas for a potential project. It'd be cool to bring that budget down quite a bit, but whatever it takes to make a good film. I do know people did like it aesthetically. Greg Fraser was doing the cinematography there, so I'm not shocked at people gravitating towards it on that end. One thing that I did hear from somebody was they felt like, the plot didn't really grab them, maybe not a sense of urgency with certain things that were in the film, right? As far as trying to save the world at that point in time, right? And I've heard quite a bit about this film, so it's one of those films that I'm indifferent with. If I get spoilers, it doesn't really bother me much. When I watch it, I'll watch it quite like The Martian by the same author, which I watched later. I watched that one at home, and I feel like the experience was still good, right? And so with this film, it's varying, but for the most part, positive reviews. So good job for Amazon MGM on this production. Maybe they can continue this with Masters of the Universe. Like I said, that's a film I'll be watching in theater. Just looks like a fun time, right? But for the most part, I've heard nothing but good things about Project Hail Mary. And so with that being said, ladies and gents, chime in the comments down below. What did you think about the film overall? Good or bad? Definitely want to hear all thoughts. I got a comment from a video before that said the film ran a little long, and so that's the type of stuff I want to hear, right? Along with scores of the film, what you thought about it. And with that being said, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.